Tamu, who ate like a horse, matched my appetite, and we tore that food up. The entire time I was eating, the woman at the cash register kept making hardcore eye contact with me. Naturally, I flirted back, though only when Tamu wasn't looking. We kept eating and the woman and I kept flirting, right up until it was time to pay the tab. The bill was $49. When Tamu went to pay, she found that she was short $10. The woman at the register gave me a look that clearly said, "Help her," but I didn't have a dime. I was so embarrassed, as I'm sure Tamu was. But it was especially difficult for me because it became a man thing when I couldn't help pay the tab. It took all the strength I had not to shout out, "I just got out of jail." Surprisingly, the woman offered to pay as long as Tamu promised to return with her money. Tamu thanked her and turned to exit. As I turned to follow Tamu, the woman cleared her throat to get my attention. When I looked, she handed me a restaurant business card with her name, phone number, and address on the backside. I put the card in my pocket and followed Tamu out to the car. In the car, I tried to console Tamu, who was really bent out of shape about not having the money to pay the bill. I almost told her about the flirting and of the woman giving me her card, but decided against it. We went to Tamu's house and retrieved the needed money and drove back to Aunt Fish. After paying the woman, we went straight to the Mustang Motel on Western Avenue. From the moment I left the car, I had a raging erection that threatened to tear a hole in the front of my pants. We hurried like eager children up to our room. Once behind the door, we literally tore our clothes off. To my surprise, Tamu had black stockings and garters. She knew I had developed a liking for such things while in youth authority. We wasted no time as we fell into one another immediately. We sinned for most of the night, taking occasional breaks to smoke pot, laugh, and joke. We really had a good time, but by the time we were buzzed to leave, we were both spent. And it was another day when we emerged from the room. "You know, Kody," Tamu began, talking in measured tones as she drove down Western Avenue. "I want to get an apartment together for us. You, me, Kianda. But you have to get a job, babes." "Yeah, I know," I said, but I really had no intention of getting a job. Hell, I was going to do like Joker and Lil D said they were doing, sell cocaine. White boy Eric, who was like a cousin to me, we told everybody we were cousins, was already heavily into it. I knew he'd kick me down, but I didn't want to tell Tamu that. "Cuz, babe," she continued, "with your job and my doing hair, we could get a nice little place somewhere." "That's right, babes," I said, not really paying much attention anymore, as I was now watching a familiar face in the car next to us watch me. The man slowly began to roll down his window, so I started rolling down mine, all the while cursing myself for not getting the 45 from Joker. "Hey," he hollered to me, "ain't your name Kody?" He didn't seem to have any venom in his voice, but it could be a ploy. "Yeah, what's up?" I said skeptically. "Oh, ninja, you don't remember me from Horseman? Terry Haran? Terry Haran. Terry Haran." I turned the name over several times before it caught, and when it did, it was too late. Enemy 60. He recognized the stages of change in my face and knew I had computed him amongst the damned. Not only had I fought him in school long before the 60s 8-tray conflict, but during the conflict I had shot him. Luckily for him, I was unarmed because I had ample time after the recognition to aim and fire. But to my surprise, he was making no threatening moves. "Oh, Kody, man," he said as we drove along, "I ain't in that banging shit no more. It all about that money now. Ninja, you better get with it." "Alright then," I said with a slight hand wave, more relieved than anything. Shit, I needed a gun. He turned right on 67th Street and into his hood, and now we drove 2 more blocks and turned left into our hood. Tamu dropped me off and we made plans for later. It felt like my second day on a new planet. The phone rang. It was little Crazy D asking me if I had gotten the strap. "Nah," I said. "Where was it?" "In the bushes where you told me to leave it." I told him to hold on, and we went out back to retrieve the weapon, a .38 Browning semi-automatic pistol. I came back to the phone and told him I'd found it and asked how many hot ones, murders, it had on it. "Oh, 3-4, Lil D replied, "but don't sweat it, 'cause you was locked down when they happened, you know, righteous," I said and spaced the line. I checked the weapon for rounds and went into the den to jam some sounds. I took Jimmy Reed out of the tape deck and put in the tape my brother Kerwin had lying around. The Big Payback by James Brown came roaring out. I can do willing, I can do the dealing, but I don't do no damn squilling. I can dig rapping, I'm ready, I can dig rapping, but I can't dig that backstabbing. To me, the big payback was always the Crip theme song. I remember going up to Tuki's house. He was the West Side Regional Commander of the Crips, to watch him lift weights and to hear the original Crip war stories. I couldn't have been any older than 12 when I'd eagerly get dressed and scurry up to Tuki's to hold audience with the general. A lot of us used to go to his house to get first-hand knowledge of Cripism. Tookie was a Crip through and through, walk, talk, and attitude. He gave the name Crip a certain majesty and was a magnificent storyteller. For hours at a time, he'd give us blow-by-blow rundowns on the old Tom Cross record hops at Sportsman's Park. Or he'd tell about slain members who'd have loved meeting us, cats like Buddha, Lil Rock, and Mo, to name a few.